We're joined on stage in front of the main stage for the weigh-in by former WBC Cruiserweight champion Tony Bellew. Tony, good to see you, my friend. What do you make of what has become of your sport? Look at the numbers of people, Tony, who are turning out for the weigh-in. Not the fight itself, the weigh-in.
Do you know what, Jim? We've been doing it for a while now in boxing. I'd say the last decade or so, you've seen when the events happen of the right magnitude and they're put out there correctly by the right outlets, that you can generate these kind of numbers. I remember going to see a Ricky Hatton weigh-in and the Trafford Centre was jam-packed, and that reminds me of this now. And you know, I've seen Carl Froch, it's happened with myself, it's happened with the likes of, you know, I remember me weighing for the David Haye fight, it was just jammed everywhere, it was crazy. But AJ does this on a regular basis. Like I say, it's part and parcel of me. When you've been an Olympic gold medalist in your home country, this kind of thing comes with the territory. You bring in different kinds of people, and you know, there's grandparents around here, there's babies. They just want to see him, and they want to see him up close and go, I was there, I seen him close.
That's right. I mean, I'm looking at it now, Tony. I mean, they're in front of us. They're in a balcony above us. They're everywhere. Fight fans have come from all over the place. Not just fight fans, but people out doing their shopping here at Westfield have realised something special is going on, and the fighters are almost in the building, I'm led to believe. So Adam's alongside Simon. Tony, what we're going to see in Anthony Joshua, because the appetite is obviously here amongst people to see a winning Anthony Joshua.
Of course, we all want to see a winning Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua beaten does nothing for no one. Doesn't do anything for British boxing. It doesn't do anything for the fans. Of course, we want to see him win. He has to win. But, you know, this is boxing. It's a high-pressure game. It's a high-pressure... Well, it's not a game. It's a high-pressure business. And he's got it all to do tomorrow night. He knows what he's up against. He's worked very, very hard. Different type of training. Not necessarily the right or the wrong way, but a different way of training. And I'm looking forward to Saturday night. I just hope he shows the fruits of his labour. I want to see him get in there and put together what I've seen him working on in Dallas with the newly appointed trainer Derek James.
Well, let's talk about that, because obviously your career clicked when you teamed up with Dave Caldwell. Everything went into place, and obviously we saw you become WBC World Champion.
Thank you.
Now, he's had a fantastic run with Rob McCracken. I know that the last 3 fights it's been all over the place with who is actually the lead man in his corner. You've been out to Dallas, you've seen him with Derek James.
Yeah.
We know from the outside what Derek brings to Errol Spence and the Charlo twins. Yeah. What's he bringing to Anthony Joshua?
What he brings is a different approach, Adam. What he brings is a different way of training. And like I said, it's not the right or the wrong way, because everyone's way is individually bespoke to them, and it's what works for you that matters the most. But he's training different than he's ever trained before. A heavyweight throwing 200 punches on an average per round is nuts. It's insane, but I watched him physically do it. And I watched him do it round after round after round.
And this is one of the criticisms that came off the back of the Usyk fight, that he wasn't throwing combinations. He was trying to get combinations off, but he was throwing in 1s and 2s rather than 3s and 4s. So that's what he's been working on.
But it's one thing about throwing 1s and 2s, maybe 3s and 4s against someone like Alexander Usyk, because he's there for one, he ain't there for 4.
Yeah.
When you're looking at a guy who's maybe, let's just say, for pit's sake, someone like a Kubrat Pulev, he's there for all 6, and you land 5 out of 6. Against Alexander Usyk, you'd be lucky if you land 1 out of 6. So it's just styles make fights, it's horses for courses. You've been in against pound for pound the most difficult man in the world to beat, and you've not gone in against him once, but you've gone in against him twice back to back. It's an absolute nightmare of a pair of fights. Believe you me, I know, unfortunately, first-hand that experience. So he's very, very hard to beat. But going forward now, he's got to clear his mind and clear the demons, because let me tell you, they are there. Whether you get stopped, whether you get beat on points, the losses create certain stigmas and certain things in your mind, and he'll have a mental block at the minute, and no one's going to get rid of it besides himself until he gets in and the bell goes for the first time and he lets his hands go.
I think that's about right, Simon, isn't it?
Obviously, it's very important to have another member, a fully paid up member of the Anthony Joshua fanboy club. But where
he comes, he started already.
What do you demand of this fight, Tone? I mean, what do you want to see?
What's fanboy Simon that have said?
Well, you're a huge admirer of Anthony Joshua.
You're not particularly You're in the gang now.
You're not particularly objective at times.
Well, I am objective. I've slated them at times.
But notwithstanding that, let's go to the point that I really wanted to make, rather than the sly little underlying dig.
But
I have to make it.
Undermining tone with fanboy. Well, how is it a fanboy?
Because you are.
Tell me how, though. Because tell me how, I'll tell you why I'm not.
Well, when I look at you, I see the adoration in your eyes. Yeah. I look at you and I just see Anthony Joshua staring back at me through those eyes. That's what I see. But go to my point.
She did, lad.
I'll leave that one alone. What do you demand, or what do you want from this fight?
A knockout.
A knockout. That's what I want. And do you expect that to happen?
It should happen.
It should
no
happen.
Why. Of course it should. You don't go in the ring to win on points. I'm sorry. Well, I speak from pain. I didn't. I wanted to take everyone's head off.
Well, you did against Ruiz.
Of course, but you go in because you've been scarred once. You've been bitten once, twice.
This is the big question, isn't it, with Anthony? This is the big question that everyone's got in their mind's eye. After Klitschko and after Ruiz and the people thinking that he can't go back to that dark place, we all want Anthony Joshua to go back to that wrecking machine. We all want to go back to that person that will stick it on him, put himself in a way of risk and start knocking people out.
But he visits that dark place every time he gets in the ring, Simon. He visits that dark place every time he goes back to camp. This is a kid who doesn't need to fight. This is a kid who's financially wealthy, secure for the rest of his life. His kids and his kids.
Yeah.
So he goes to that dark place every time he goes to camp. Believe you me, I watched him in Dallas. That weren't a nice place. That weren't this high-tech gym in Loughborough. This high-tech gym in Sheffield.
When I say dark place, I don't mean the position of putting yourself in a way of actually shredding yourself down. I mean that point when you're looking in the abyss in the ring and you're having to pull yourself off the canvas. That place that you've been. That place you went with Adonis Stevenson when you picked yourself off the floor 3 or 4 times. That place.
But that doesn't happen. That starts in camp.
Yeah, I get it.
It happens in the ring, but what you do in camp prepares you for the moment in the ring. If you don't do it in camp, you aren't going to be ready in the ring.
Can you
He's
see
ready Saturday
anything
night.
other, Tony, than a spectacular Joshua win then tomorrow
Of course
night?
I can, because if this fight goes past 6 rounds, this guy's demeanour, this guy's weight loss, this guy's reduction in what I'm actually physically seeing in front of my eyes, it causes problems. And if he goes past 6, his inside game can create problems. That's the worry for me.
Just coming back to what Simon was saying a minute or two ago, you know him well. Does he love fighting? And what I mean by that question is, I think from the outside, he loves boxing, he loves all the things that come along with boxing. I mean, he even answered in the press conference, I'm here for money. Nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But as Simon was just saying there, when it hits the fan, does he love fighting? I know that you love fighting, and there's plenty of other fighters that I could mention that. But does Anthony Joshua actually love having a fight?
He has to, Adam. He has to.
No, but does he?
He has to. Because he doesn't need to do it.
It's a good point.
He doesn't need to put up with all this nonsense.
But that's a different dynamic. When it comes on top, we've all got reputations. I've got plenty of money. I don't need to do broadcasting.
When it comes,
because it challenges.
When it comes on top, what does he do?
Well, this is the question.
He fights.
Well, we're going to see, aren't we?
Show me. Well, look, it comes on top against Alexander Usyk in the second fight. What does he do? Does he get out? Does he walk away? It comes on top when
it came on top against Andrew Ruiz, he did the polar opposite.
Comes on top when he gets involved against Vladimir Klitschko and he's on the floor.
Yeah,
and that's the point.
Does he walk away?
Is that guy still there?
And that's the point.
He's on top when he fights Dillian White. It comes on top later
But now
on.
we're going back 7-8 years, aren't we? That Klitschko fight's perfect.
Okay,
is that guy still here?
Let's go to the one after Klitschko against Kubrat Pulev. He gets into 4 rounds of pummeling Kubrat Pulev. He takes it. He gets to round 6 or 7.
You're talking about Povetkin?
No, I'm talking about Pulev. He starts getting tired in the Pulev fight. And there's a certain stage where he gets really, really tired. If I'm right in remembering, I think he stopped Pulev in the 11th or some, quite late on.
Yeah, that's right.
But in the midway section of the Pulev fight, he's exhausted and he's tired. It's at them moments where you get called upon and you go, I either want this or I don't. And once again, he shows you those. I'll tell you something now, Ollie. There is no quitting the kid. I will put my life and soul in it. This kid will never quit. He will not get found wanting, because you can take the kid off the street, but you can't take the street out the kid. Okay, he's always going to have that street and determination in him. Listen, things get softer the higher you go up the food chain. Yep. Things get easier because money takes away certain issues and problems that they do. Yeah. And I get that 100%.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take the fight away from you, because he wouldn't be here if it weren't.
So conventional wisdom says Joshua tomorrow night, good style. What does it say on Monday night? Live in talkSPORT, Everton, Tottenham, your beloved Everton. Come on. What does it tell us?
I know loads about boxing.
In this Premier League?
I know loads about boxing. I don't know much about football.
Come on, Tony.
I love me football club, and yes, we will. Sean Dyche is doing a brilliant job. The gaffer is grafting them. These lads know. I was with Mason and Keno at a golf day the other day, Evan in the community, which we won, by the way, and I got nearest the pin. I don't know how I've done a fluke dip, but the lad said to me, I said to him, what are you doing in a buggy? Walk around the course. He said, Tone, we're absolutely shattered. I said, absolutely brilliant. I said, when I see the gaffer next week, I'm going to give him another pat on the back.
Good.
So they're working hard. They're really working hard. They're fighting for each other. Everton Football Club is a belief, it's a constitution, it's a place, it's me heart, and Everton Football Club are staying in the Premier League.
Good man, Tony Bellew. That's what we would like to hear. Tony Bellew with us live this lunchtime in talkSPORT. You can hear from what's going on behind us, the weigh-in now well underway, and Joshua and Franklin here very soon.
My name's Anthony Joshua. Listen to my fight live on talkSPORT against Jermaine Franklin this Saturday on talkSPORT, the home of boxing.